There are just some things you don't understand. Revolutions are dreamt up by intellectuals, but their aims are so unrealistic that they'll steep to drastic measures. Following the revolution, the worthy passions for rebirth are swallowed up by bureaucracy and mediocrity. Intellectuals hate this and withdraw from society and politics and become recluses. I'm not as impatient as you are. I'm willing to wait for humanity to learn and grow. That's our purpose. We have to show the world the light in the human heart. Good evening, my gentle cousins, and welcome back to the Bone Chalk Broadcast. My name is Michael Prey, and I am your Bone Chalk Bard. We are joined, as usual, by Rainy, the Rain Shrimp from The Magic of Scheherazade, Hamlet, the Noble Pig from The Illusion of Gaia, and Left Hand from Vampire Hunter D. Yes, more like Amuro Prey. Good evening, the Gullix, and welcome. We are going to be playing a little game called Gundam Crossfire for the PlayStation 3. Now, this is a little more advanced than a lot of the games that we've played before, 8-bit, 16-bit, 64-bit, moving on to quite a few more bits this time. But Mobile Suit Gundam, as I've said plenty of times before, is a franchise that is really near and dear to my heart. And as such, I am dressed as Amuro Ray for the night. I don't have quite the curly hair. Have to kind of bun it up to compensate. But gotta have your yellow turtleneck and denim jacket if you're going to be playing some Gundam. What is Gundam? Well, it is a giant robot series. It debuted in 1979 and takes place in the Universal Century, 0079. It was a huge turning point for the giant robot anime genre. Before then, it was more of like a superhero kind of experience, in that you had a titular robot, such as Mazinger Z, Getter Robo, things like that, where the heroes had one monolithic robot in their corner, and it had all sorts of supreme powers, attacks that were shouted out before they fired, like Rocket Punch and Getter Beam, stuff like that. It was very over the top, but they still tackled some pretty cool and very bizarre subjects in their runs. But the TV shows were definitely more kid friendly, even though plenty of people die in them and plenty of messed up things happen. But Mobile Suit Gundam shifted that to less of a human versus alien kind of thing versus a more personal human versus human and ideology versus ideology kind of a subject matter. This was a battle for independence of people in space colonies trying to separate from the Earth Federation, which they viewed as oppressive. However, a group usurped that independence movement and manipulated it for their own gains. And because of that, billions upon billions of people died. And the series really shows the horrors of war, the terrible effects that it has on people, especially the youth of the world, and was really transformative in that way. The genre really changed from then on and really started to focus on these very personal and deeply traumatizing kinds of things. This game, however, doesn't. It's an okay game, but it's a game that I enjoy, and it's a game that I think still does some really nifty and unique things and is still a lot of fun. It doesn't really delve into those themes quite as much. But it is a ton of fun, definitely. And it's one that we're going to enjoy together because we're celebrating hitting 100 followers. So I wanted something that was personal to me, but that could be easily enjoyed and didn't need too much explanation as we went along. So, without further ado, my name is Amuro Prey, and we are going to Amuro play some Gundam Crossfire for the PlayStation 3. So here we go. Gundam. And that's not, we're not playing Suikoden 3, sorry. Maybe we'll save that for another time. But here we go. Hi, Bone Cheesecake. I wish I had some cheesecake. That sounds fantastic. I feel like you were reading the text messages of pretty recently. But how are you, V4? Hope you are having a wonderful night. Thank you for joining in. We are playing some Gundam Crossfire for PS3. It is a very zen game for me. And we are going to be playing the New Game Plus of the Federation side. Because I don't feel like starting from the beginning. Last time I played this was over a year ago. Yep. You are having good dinner. Excellent. That is always good to hear. What are you having for dinner? I may be slightly jealous, depending. Ooh. Message from Weapons Development Base. Xeon activity in Australia is on the rise. What was thought to be a chance encounter in the city ruins was in fact a clash with forces advancing towards this base. As a research facility, we are unprepared to deal with them. Experimental mobile suits will be deployed as emergency measure. Quesadillas and oatmeal. That's a very interesting combination. I do love quesadillas, and I do love oatmeal, but I've never heard of them together. Mobile Suit Test Core. Although this is an emergency situation, the use of prototype mobile suits in battle runs the risk of divulging vital military secrets to the enemy. To protect those secrets, an MS test corps has been created with Major General Miguel in command. We're counting on you. And that's just... Well, finished my quesadillas, now I'm having oatmeal. Ah, gotcha. Ooh, Mobile Suit Pilot Ryu Jose may be selected. Hayato? And Kai? And Frau? Mirai? Okay, so I guess I have access to pretty much the whole Light Base crew now. Whoa! Good evening, Tyrannosaurus Greg, and welcome. Buenos for 100, and a shout out for Mr. Tyrannosaurus Greg, who hopefully does not forget his camera at work this next time so he can continue his Castlevania Symphony of the Night randomizer. But if you all like dinosaurs, and you like fezzes, which you should because they're cool, definitely check out Tyrannosaurus Greg's channel. Head over there, give him a like. He's working his way towards affiliate, and I think you will enjoy his content if you like all the classic games we play here. Weren't you expecting me to dip the quesadillas in oatmeal? I mean, people have their quirks, and who am I to judge? Yes, you remember the camera. Good. Oh, we are now the very model of a modern Major General. Sweet. And I didn't even do anything. I just loaded the game. So, if you are new to Gundam, this takes place during the 1 Year War. Now, the 1 Year War takes place over the span of 1 year. It is between the Earth Federation and the Principality of Xeon. Now, Xeon, they are that space force that I mentioned. It was the Republic of Xeon under the rule of Xeon Daikun. He was a philosopher and political leader who preached that humanity's next step of evolution would take place as they migrated to space. Now, a lot of people followed that. Of course, there was friction between the colonies and the Federation just because, they're trying to strike it on their own. The Earth still wants control of that money. However, the evil Zabi family usurped Xeon Daikun. Xeon was assassinated, and they took control of Xeon and converted it from a republic into the principality and launched an all-out war on the Earth. Like I said, billions of people died. They killed many of their own civilians in their colonies and even dropped one onto Australia, which had devastating effects on the Earth. Oh, shit, son. Time to drop a colony onto Koala Land. Exactly. So if you look at Australia on the globe that's spinning around, there's that huge bite that's been taken out of it. That's where the colony dropped, and that's where a lot of people died. We are in command of an experimental mobile suit test team on the Federation side, and it's our job to defeat the Xeon. But we're going to take a look at what we've got here. So you take control of one character who you create at the beginning, and you create their name, and then you have the freedom to buy and upgrade mobile suits as you go along. Right now I've been using the gym command, which is pretty sweet. And I have Leto Wolf, who is one of the great aces of the 1 Year War, as my backup. And Tenethe Young, who is also a huge badass. Koalas aren't very bright. Probably didn't even notice. That's true. They don't even know they're a marsupial. They think they're a bear. Don't you get to use Xeon suits in this as well, or am I misremembering? Yes, you can. You can unlock at least some of the opposing forces' mobile suits to use. All right, let's check out what is available too. Did I unlock the actual Gundam yet? No. Okay. Oh no, I did. I just don't have enough money for it. Okay, so our first order of business is going to be to accumulate enough points to buy the Gundam, and then we'll use that for the rest of the night as soon as we're able to. And we can recruit all sorts of pilots here. These are all familiar names from the series. If you don't recognize them, that's totally fine. It really only has a marginal effect on the game. Also, are you emulating this by any chance? I know firsthand that this game doesn't always run on the best on real hardware. No, I am playing it off of my PlayStation 3. And this is my file that I've been working through. Oh, Christine McKenzie. I would recruit her, but her stats are not nearly as good. You murder everything with ease once you get the RX-78. Yes. Alright, so we're pretty good. We're just gonna go ahead and... Is it the ruins that they were talking about? No. Huh? Oh, I must have done a mission? I don't understand. Anyways, we'll do the military base here. Reconnaissance. Base perimeter reconnaissance. The enemy has spread Minovsky particles, rendering radar useless. Find and destroy the enemy. Don't mind if I do. Give us that mission briefing. Roll that beautiful beam footage. Also, I did adjust the redemptions a little bit. Both Rainey and Hamlet will recite some pivotal speeches from the Gundam franchise if you do redeem them. They are a bit long, so I increased the points that they cost. Also, we do have Gundamu. While I appreciate Gundam, I will always be a Transformers guy. I can totally understand that. Alright, let's see. We're going to go with the beam gun. So, this screen here, you can basically set what your force is going to be. Sometimes you're allowed squad mates, sometimes you're not. I am this time, so we are going to... we'll give you the beam gun as well. What if there was a Grimlock Gundam? There's a Sandrock Gundam. And a Mudrock? Yeah. We'll keep you with sniper rifle. Yeah. All right. So we're going in. You can adjust which weapons that you use and such, or you can switch pilots.
Enemy forces may have infiltrated the lake area. Radar is completely offline. Run a visual sweep and intercept the enemy.
Commence reconnaissance operation. Move to the search point.
Here we go. So, yeah, as you can see, the frame rate is not very good, but that's just how the game is. I actually checked RPCS3's site to see if this particular game is playable, and it turns out it is. Though the entry for it hasn't been updated since 2019, so for all I know, I could very well not be playable anymore. Gotcha. I mean, it's totally serviceable in this state. It's not great, but you can play it, and I'm used to the bad frame rate. Oh, here we go. So what's nice about this game is that you do have both control sticks to use in terms of, okay, who's shooting at me? To use for movement and such. Oh, okay, they're over here. Oh, okay, we've got a lot of enemies this time. This is technically our first level. We've got plenty of Zaku's coming at us. Zaku's are Zeon's mainstay mobile suit. They have mono eyes, as opposed to Gyms, or GMs. They're mass-produced Gundams who have visors. Took a little bit of damage there, which happens when I'm adjusting. But we should still get an S rank for this mission. Yep, sweet. Also, I believe all the mobile suits that I have right now are fully upgraded. Ooh. A new mobile suit has been added to the supply list. New mission. Rescue the hover truck. Sweet. Let's see what's out there. Supply, mobile suit. Yeah, so look. I was probably just being too impatient, not giving this game a proper chance the first time I played it last year. It does take a little bit of getting used to. When you're first starting out a new file, it can be pretty difficult and frustrating, especially if you're playing as Zeon, because the Zaku's are pretty much outclassed from the beginning. But yeah, so we got the Zaku 1, 2, the Commander type, and the Zaku Cannon that are available. There's really no point in using them aside from novelty if you're playing as the Federation. They really don't offer anything that what you have can't do. So I'm using the Gym Command right now, which is pretty solid. Oh, hey, my boy, the Zaku 1. I mean, the Zaku 1 does have a lot of charm, especially Doan's Zaku, which just fights with its fists. But the Gym Command is pretty solid. So, on each date, you have some options that you can do. One, you can order a pilot or a mobile suit. You can rest, which is next turn, which you'll need to do if your mobile suits are in repair. I do have the Easy 8. Did I? Okay, that is completely upgraded. I could be using the Easy 8. Actually, what does it have? Okay, so it has... Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. I'm using the Easy 8. This one. Okay, I have 2 Gym Commands. Alright, I'm getting reoriented with what I have here. I'm sorry. Either way, I think we're going to rest. The Gym Sniper 2 is also incredibly powerful. and the Gym Striker is unparalleled in melee combat. Can you paint your mobile suits in this? So not exactly. You can change the color. It's through change type. So you can switch between heavy, which increases your attack and defense, and it's supposed to lower your boost a little bit, though you barely notice. You have jungle, desert, and marine, and those change the kind of color scheme to blend in with those different environments. It's not really necessary to specialize in either of those except for heavy. Heavy just gives you that extra boost. The other ones are really just aesthetic. I'm going to check when the... So most missions also have a deadline. And you want to make sure that you do it before that happens. Otherwise, bad. It's very bad. It's bad, Chad. It's very bad. But we're going to rest. And check the hangar. Okay. Our mobile suits are all repaired. We are going to save real quick. System. There we go. You will also attempt to raid again at the end of the stream tonight. Hopefully it actually works this time and it doesn't freak out. Alright, let's go rescue the hover truck. And if we fail, we'll restart.
We've got an emergency situation on our hands. One of our transport units is under enemy attack. They have an escort of Type 6
dire situation.
But we're up against mobile suits. It won't last long. There's no time to lose. We must act quickly and come to their aid.
Yeah, so the Federation had a plethora of tanks and jet fighters that they used to... A stoop of wine, Mariah! And good evening to you, gentle cousin. Welcome in, Los. We are playing... Okay, seeing that there's only 20... That there's only 20 ammo for that. I see why I was not using it. But yeah, welcome. And if you want the greatest in organized chaos, if you want the most excellent support and the great vibes, please check out Seraphines. They play many different types of games. Last playing some Animal Crossing, I believe. But Los is a great guy, very friendly, very supportive. Has really been a cheerleader for us. So definitely check him out. And when you're in there, use as many redemptions as you can. Use all the japes that you can. Spam that screen with all sorts of fun things and have a great time. Vampire face? Well, it's a little bit more like Newtype face. Excellent. All right, here we go. Easy 8 in action. It's showtime. It was everything I could hope for and more. Good. Good.
Situation critical. Send reinforcements.
Alright. So we gotta take down these dirty Zeeks. Here I was thinking you got a Hayato style haircut. No, not quite. Just got it in the bun there. Unfortunately my hair is not as curly as Amuro's. But instead of Mike Prey, I am Amuro Prey for the night. Oh, missed. There we go. Get wrecked. Gotta make sure you wear your yellow turtleneck and denim if you're gonna play some Gundam. Not to be confused with Chief Denim, who gets his ass wrecked in the first episode. Oh, come on. Nice.
Damn it! Attack! What the hell? Quit missing! Damn it!
Toughest thing about this is that the EZ-8 has really crappy Vulcan cannons. Or is that a big tray?
There's no time to lose. We're almost there. Dynamite your maker!
Oh god, what the hell are these called?
Get away!
Base jabbers.
Escort target destroyed. 2 remaining.
2 remaining. Okay, I think we got them.
The attack has ceased.
Is there a sniper rifle in this?
It looks
Oh,
like the
yes.
Zeons have
So,
This is the transport
there is a
core.
sniper mode that you can go
Save
into.
us out there.
So with any weapon, you can go into sniper
The
mode,
Federation's got some tough mobile suits.
which
I knew you could do it. The mission was
very
a
much
success.
helps in the final
Return
mission,
to base.
especially if you're playing as Xeon, because there's a section where suddenly there's a huge line of gun tanks, and you have to get through them, no matter what mobile suit you're using. Been watching a video on Sony's E3 2006 conference a lot lately. As someone who was only 5 at the time, I'm in awe of the fact that there was a time when Gundam games would get a major stage presence at an E3. This had an E3 presence? Holy crap. I would definitely not expect that, especially considering the quality of games that came here for the PlayStation 2. Message from Weapons Development Base Reconnaissance has informed us that a Xeon assault force is currently advancing on this base. This force appears to be made up primarily of mobile suits. All units prepare for immediate intercept. Sweet. WDB Defense. Weapons Development Base. Okay, that's fine. Let's check the hangar. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like using the EZ-8. I don't feel comfortable with how much ammo it has. So we're gonna switch over to the gym command again. And both of these chachis are in repair. Alright, let's double check what the deadline is. Is that the 13th? Okay, we got plenty of time. When you got time, I got time. So we are going to next turn it. And we will save. Yeah, it was there. So, though sadly, it only had a CG trailer and no gameplay. Yeah, the CGI trailer for this game is pretty solid, and the intro is pretty cool too. I didn't go through it just because, I mean, you're going to see what the game is like anyways, and this gives you false promises. But yeah, I can see why that would be impressive. There was also a Gundam game on the 360. It was a multiplayer game, which was very reminiscent of Battlefield, of the Battlefield series, where you were soldiers on foot, but you could commandeer mobile suits like tanks and such and go at it that way, which never came out here, which would have been probably a great introduction to the Gundam series. Let me just double check the hangar. Okay, we're all good. I went to the store on the day it was supposed to. Oh no! Well, we also had Lost War Chronicles on the PlayStation 2 that kept being rumored to come out here. Like it was in a whole bunch of gaming magazines that, yes, Lost War Chronicles is coming to America. And it never did. I do have it, and I have played it. And it's pretty decent, I have to say. All things considered from the era. It's like Journey to Jaburo if it was good. And we'll get to Journey to Jaburo in the new year. But that'll be our first Gundam game in the new year.
units to form a
The
defensive
controls in
perimeter.
it feel
We're
so
gonna
much
have
more
to face them
responsive,
head
even though
on.
it still has a
Protect
terrible
headquarters.
control scheme.
Stop them dead in
It
their
does
tracks.
have an actual cockpit view, but it's very weird. Jabrow. Yes. Good old Jabrow Vase. Who do I want for this? I'll put Kenneth A. Young in here. This sniper rifle will be able to back me up. Gotta love those early dubs. Oh, yes. I'll get you, Char! It's better than the Hong Kong subs, though. Or the really early Gundam dubs, where they were the Robotron invaders.
Commencing base defense
Bright was British.
operations.
Yes! Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Yep,
Planning a
yep.
combined assault
We're on the
our
same
base from the
page now.
west and from the south. Intercept enemy forces and protect headquarters.
Good old Robotron invaders. And Char with Spike. Yes! Yes! Oh, the frame rate is just so bad. Okay, we want to get out there as quickly as possible.
Ally destroyed. Losing strength.
So you have your main weapon, which is your gun. And then you also have sub-weapons. For most Federation mobile suits, it's going to be a set of Vulcan cannons, which are little machine guns in your mobile suit's head. You can lose limbs in this game, too, which you really don't want to do, because then you lose your weapons.
Enemy intrusion. Intercept immediately. What the hell?
I mean, you're probably not going to want that anyways. Ow.
Careful of the beast. Misfires are unacceptable. Headquarters
Oh,
damage
shit.
increased. Move in defense. That's it. No! Open, bastard.
Sorry, I had to get serious for a second.
Bastard.
Yeah, it looks like you're firing bullets out of your ears. And I think Amuro was voiced by Joe from Digimon. Oh my god. Wow, okay. I need to go back and watch that again. It has been many years since I've seen that. I've watched the trilogy movies plenty of times. But not the really bad dub version.
You've succeeded in weakening the enemy. But we're not finished yet.
Alright, we got
Reload
this.
ammo and confront enemy reinforcements.
So the reason the Zakus and such are pretty much pushovers is because the Federation uses beam technology in their weapons. Meaning they shoot lasers, if you want to boil it down. And the Xeon Mobile Suit's armor is not suited to defending against that. Because it's an unheard of technology, aside from battleships. Nice. Alright, I think we got this. Did we do it? There's one enemy left. Nope,
Attention
we
all
did it.
units.
Haha!
The enemy is
I actually rented
stopped.
Journey to Jaburo
Retreating.
once as a kid. Can never beat the second stage, which is I was too stupid to understand I was supposed to defend the white base.
Defeated the Zeons.
Which is pretty much the whole point of the Gundam throughout most of the series. Is while they're out there, they're being chased, and Amuro has to defend the white base. I understand, though. Sweet. Okay. 100% success rate. And with that, we have enough points to buy the Gundam, the titular robot. The beam rifle is one of the most powerful weapons of its time. The only sucky thing about it is that it has very limited ammo. Yes. That's why I was not enjoying using the Easy 8. A message from Weapons Development Base. Xeon forces have called off the assault and are now retreating. It appears that Xeon intends to redirect its fighting strength from the Oceania front to the more contested Southeast Asia area. This could affect the balance of power in that region. Ooh, Mobile Suit Test Corps orders. With the Xeon withdrawal, your MS Test Corps has achieved its initial objective. We plan to disband you at this point, but Federation headquarters had requested your assistance in Southeast Asia. This difficult assignment is recognition of your team's achievements. Good luck. Sweet. These are all just tutorial things. Base defense training. So those training missions are ones that you can just do whenever, and it doesn't affect the durability or the life of your mobile suits. So you can just farm points to buy things. Sweet, and we leveled up. You did good, so we were going to disband you, but then we decided, you know, we need you, so please don't leave us. Alright, we are going to purchase the Gundam for 50,000 points. Let's see. Okay, everything's kind of jacked up, but that's fine. Thankfully, the beam rifle in Gundam's side story 0079 on Dreamcast, even though it has limited ammo. Yes! Okay, so one, that game is fantastic. I love it. I don't like the controls of it because the Dreamcast only has one control stick and it's a first-person game. That makes it very frustrating. But overall, it is one of my favorite Gundam games of the era. Effects make it an infinite ammo weapon technically, like all the other weapons, just with a slow recharge rate. Yes. And, I mean, technically, Gundam's beam rifle could recharge that way, I believe, with the E-cap that it has. Jungle, beachhead, the 19th. Okay, we've got plenty of time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go next turn. Yes. Oh, no. Check out the hangar. We are in poor mental health. So, I've seen the condition of the pilot change at various times, and I'm not sure how exactly it affects your stats or anything. By the way, would you happen to know what the name of that 360 Gundam game you mentioned earlier? Culprit, can you look that up? I can't remember the actual name of it. I wish I could. I really don't. It was one that I was very interested in playing, but let's do some base defense training. Yeah, get some extra for when the Gundam arrives and we have to upgrade it.
Activating training simulator.
Remember they were doing a battle? Yes, exactly.
Enemy forces
That's the one that we were talking about. I just can't remember what the name of it is. I feel like that would have been a great introduction for a lot of people to Gundam and what it's about. Because from what I saw of gameplay of it, it looked really cool. And looked absolutely absolutely like something that people would really enjoy. Possible now. So Gundam Battle Operation 2 on the PlayStation 4 kind of fulfills a similar role. Dragon Ball is doing a crazy crossover type thing that was announced today. Yes. Dragon Ball Breakers, I believe, is what it's called. And yeah, it's one of those asymmetrical kind of games where you have to try to defeat Cell oh, you get to be Cell. That gives you all the power. I'm gonna be honest, the first form of Cell is probably the most intimidating. Someone does. Gotcha. Cell's first form is incredibly creepy, incredibly unsettling, and the way that he absorbs people is by far the most disturbing. And I kind of wish he stayed that way. Like, I know based on what Cell is, it makes sense for him to look the way that he does at the end. However, I found it really silly they had a bazooka aimed at Perfect Cell's face like it was dramatic. Until you mentioned that, I honestly didn't know the 360 had any mech games aside from Armored Core 4, For Answer 5 and Verdict Day, Chrome Hounds, and a Zoids RPG. Armageddon time, I got a boner chalk. Oh boy. Well, Armageddon, I hope it's because you are watching some Gundam. By the way, if you're ever intimate, use a Gundam. But mobile ops, that sounds correct. If you like Castlevania and you like trivia, please check out Armageddon Time, who's working through Castlevania, The Dawn of Sorrow. Which would be our introductory sound, but I think that's a fully licensed sound as well. Alright, sir. I need you to die. You like Castlevania, don't you? Place your controller on the ground. I'll make it move with my mind. I need a Gundam for my beam gun. Exactly. There we go. Got you some beam saber action. Even though they're already dead before I could do another one. I can read you like an open book. Your favorite manga is Blue Destiny, isn't it? You like creepy computer programs that utilize the brain of a cat. That's the Zero System 2.0. From the very bad Gundam Wing sequel manga, Frozen Teardrop. Can you die, please? There we go. Oh, you're still alive. Jesus. Is there more? I think we got him.
Mission cleared.
I've only ever seen Gundam Wing and maybe one episode total. Nothing says anime like royalty-free lightsabers. Yes, this is your beam saber. Which, again, came out around the same time as Star Wars. Gundam Wing is what pulled me into Gundam. And yes, the Gundam has arrived. The reason it pulled me in was because I was playing Xenogears at the same time. I was actually visiting my grandparents in Puerto Rico, and I brought my PlayStation with me. I was working through Xenogears, and I happened to be watching Cartoon Network in the evening, and I think it was part of the Midnight Run. They were showing Gundam Wing, and I was like, wait a minute. The Tall Geese was on the screen. I was like, that looks like Weltall. And that immediately piqued my interest, and I watched the whole episode, and I was like, this is very interesting. And so I watched it every night that it was on while I was there. And when I got home, I saw that it was on Toonami, and so I had to keep watching. And that's really where it started. I was really pulled in. What a coincidence with Xenogears and Gundam Wing. Yes, because the mech designer is the same across both of them. It's Itagaki, correct? I know you know this, culprit. Look at those stats. Just full on. Okay, so when you are customizing Ishigaki, there we go. Ishigaki does Maganax and Weltall. Not Itagaki. Itagaki is someone completely different. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you had the similar experience. Played and encountered them about the same time. Gotcha. So I'm going to break down upgrades for this game. So attack clearly increases your attack parameters. It will either increase melee attack, ranged attack, or limb damage that you can do. I'll go to defense first. That increases defense against particular types. Either it's defense against beam attacks or physical attacks, like whether it's a machine gun or if it's a beam rifle. It can also reduce limb damage so that if you're getting shot in the arm, your arm won't fall off. Weapon, however, is one of the most important things. 1, it increases your ammo count. 2, it also increases the different types of weapons that you can carry into battle, including some mobile suits which don't have a shield. It gives you access to that, which is pretty sweet. And then change type, we kind of already went over. We'll actually do that first. We're going to switch Gundam to a heavy type. Yeah, boost type down, whatever. Help me, I am lost in this info. So Xenogears, if you don't know, is a JRPG on the first PlayStation, which I know at the very least you're pretty familiar with just as a console. That one also has giant robots as well. Goes into a lot of really crazy Freudian psychological stuff, but it's really cool. It was unfortunately underfunded, so the second part of the game is pretty rough. No, Itagaki is just our oatmeal god who made those Ninja Gaiden games. Ah, there we go. Yes, Ishigaki, Itagaki, two different people. Tomonobu Itagaki, that is. Gotcha. Yeah, he's a very strange person. Let's see. Let's do our official mission. Here in the jungle. The Northern Zeon base must be captured in order to secure a beachhead for the jungle campaign.
We've launched an operation to attack the enemy's naval base. The base serves as a hub to connect strongholds throughout the area, thus forming a defensive net. Therefore, the first step in our operation will be to effectively neutralize this defensive network. The first target will be the enemy position in the jungle to the southeast.
Let you hear the
Reconnaissance has informed
briefing
us
here.
that enemy security is weakest in the north. We feel a surprise attack will buy us the greatest chance for victory. Infiltrate the jungle's northern section and promptly eliminate the enemy.
Also, personal introduction to Gundam was actually Gundam Battle Assault 2, played it on a PS2. I do have both Battle Assault games. I was kind of going back and forth between playing either this or one of those. Yeah, we'll go with that. And we'll go with that. But for me, it was more an introduction to my general love of mechs. Gotcha. I mean, it does have a really good variety in them. And it's really funny that they made Hiro Yui, who is the protagonist of Gundam Wing, the protagonist of this game, and he uses all the mobile suits against other people. But I guess that was probably the most relatable way to bring it over. Robot Alchemic Drive was another instrumental game in solidifying my love of giant robots and Godzilla. Robot Alchemic Drive is a game that I wish I would have been able to play or had been able to find back when it was out. I know it takes a lot of inspiration from various different robot mediums. Media, rather. There we go, that's the correct word. Gotta use the right terms. But yeah, I've also heard really good things about it.
Visibility in the jungle is poor. Use your radar.
Yes, the visibility is poor here because we're in some kind of a canyon-like state and the fog gets trapped here. That's one thing that I kind of really appreciate about this game is that it utilizes a lot of different weather effects. It does make even, it does make going through the same kind of area very different. Spider-Man trailer dropped, pretty good. Sweet.
Don't waste ammo. Shoot to kill.
Whoa. What's this? Oh, here we go. And you're dead. And you're dead. And let's see, who else is out here? Who else wants to be dead? I was going to say a bit ago that Gundam Wing can go and take an endless waltz out of existence for all I care, as a cheeky joke, but I was too late. That's okay. I still appreciate the levels of commitment. Endless Waltz is a very stylish movie, and I think a worthy sequel to the series. Despite how stylish it is and how much I love incredibly stylized things, I think the mechanical design does take a step back from the series. Certainly in terms of practicality. But also a lot of the machines lose a lot of the unique aspects of them. With Katoki's redesigns of them. Hello, Bone Chalk. It's Gundam. I remember these games. Ah, good evening, Banjo Mateo, and welcome. Yes, this is our 100 follower celebration. We are playing some Gundam Crossfire. Please don't get caught up in it. But mechanical design for mecha anime is just another weird form of costume design. Yes, exactly. But yeah, so after today, we will finish up Fox Xanadu on Thursday, and then we'll move on to something completely different. We won't spend the whole day on Fox Xanadu because we only have about an hour left from what I was told. So, love it. I try to avoid the Crossfire. Good. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, Robot Alchemic Drive is awesome. I've actually had 2 copies of that game throughout my life. The first one I had as a kid got too scratched up at one point, and eventually either lost it or threw it away for some reason. Don't understand how to take proper care of discs at the time. Yeah, I understand that. I definitely had friends who didn't do that either. A stoop of wine, Mariah! Oh wait, I should have changed that. A stoop of wine, Mirai! There we go. That's what it will be during the actual season of Gundam. A stoop of wine, Mirai. Got your second copy around 2014 or 2015 when your dad actually drove to a used game store to find it for you. It was complete and only $15 to boot, which is crazy. Yeah, oh my gosh. The classic game market nowadays is insulting. Like, it is every single game that you may actually want to play is incredibly overpriced, incredibly jacked up. And I think the grading system is kind of goofy. Like, yes, you want to make sure that what you have is of quality, but classifying them the way that they are just to charge hundreds of dollars for a game that's not that great but is just a little bit rare is ridiculous. And yes, I know everybody wants and deserves to make $1, but like, despite the fact that it's a game, it is a piece of art, and it's ridiculous that people can't enjoy it, you know? It makes me really upset. Robot Alchemic Drive actually emulates fairly well on PCSX too, fortunately. Well, that's a good piece of information to know. Alright, let's check out our gun. Ooh, let's check out what color our Gundam is now. Ooh, look at that. Whoa, our Gundam has a visor now. That's pretty cool. Oh, hold on. I have to check something real quick. Damn it. I don't want Gundam the Origin stuff. Ah, nice. Okay. So what's really nifty about this is that we changed it to a heavy type, and the whole aesthetic changed to Heavy Gundam, which is a completely different variant of the Gundam. That's like, it's touches like that really make me love this game, even though as a complete package it's kind of just okay. I don't know if Nightbot will allow me to post it, but I'm gonna try to anyways. But the colors and the visor and such are that of Heavy Gundam. Check that shit out. Gotta slap a fanny pack on there, and then we're fully Maddies. Still some rays of light in the retro market on 5th and 6th gen games, though I admit it can definitely feel like there's no hope left when some games are ridiculously overpriced now. Yeah. Yeah, there's ones that, you know, were kind of on the periphery that I played that I was like, oh, I'd love to play that again. And I'd love to own a copy of it. And I look it up and it's like $150. Why am I going to do that? It makes me really, really mad. Okay. We are going to customize the weapon of this, though. I should warn you about something with playing Robot Alchemic Drive with PCSX, though. There's still quite a bit of slowdown while playing, just like real hard. Okay. So if it's comparable to the real hardware, then I don't mind. If it's worse than the real hardware, then that's something that I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. Good thing I have 2 gym commands. That way I can do a training level still. What do we got going on here? Bridge demolition, 10:22. Okay, so we got plenty of time. I'm gonna save though. I'm gonna save pretty much between every mission. Yeah, I admit I wasn't entirely thrilled to having to pay $50 for my copy of Gungrave for PS2. Yeah, like that. It's like it's a good classic game that you want to play for the PlayStation 2, but it's not worth that much. Like the game itself is not worth that much, and the fact that people are charging that much for it it's insulting, to put it lightly. So long as you don't play 50 for Oni. Oh. Yeah, I know which game you're talking about. I remember not hearing very good things about that game. Alright, let's do some base defense training. Blow these all up. We'll be good to go.
Activating training simulator. Enemy
We'll skip the briefing once we're able to. It's not a very good game. Played some of it. Gotcha. Beam gun and beam gun. Beam gun. Beam gun. The controls in the game are also not the most responsive. I've kind of attuned myself to it for the most part, but it still doesn't work right plenty of times. Come on, let's go!
Get the hell off Earth! Be careful of the beast. Misfires are unacceptable.
Oh yeah, if you saw, that Zaku's arm just got blown off. Meaning it can't use its gun. This Magella tank sucks. So Magella tanks are very strange. They have a... Oh, thank you for lurking. Now will they creep into sedges? Now, Rad's, fortunately, very playable in PCSX2. Can be a bit CPU, GPU intensive, though, so hopefully your PC has more than 4 cores and 4 threads, unlike mine. I'll have to give it a test. I think it would be fine. But that's good to know. That's good to know. Also, fortunately, we have other avenues when people get unreasonable with their eBay prices, and copyright holders aren't officially selling their games anymore. This is true. This is true. That was a song by one of the former American Idols, wasn't it? I've waited my life to cross this line to the only thing that's true. Cry. It's time to try anything to be with you. All my life I've waited. This is true. Sings it much better than that. I was just using a character voice to hide the flaws in my own singing. Also, a little bit of trivia about Amuro Ray, the main character in Mobile Suit Gundam. His father, Tem Ray, is the designer of the Gundam, the Gun Cannon, which is a mid to long range support unit, and the Gun Tank, which is a long range artillery unit. He suffers from oxygen deprivation after the first episode of the show. And he goes crazy. We 3D print the game into real life. But then if you die in the game, you die in real life. Ugh. That movie was terrible. By the way, did you guys know Sega's AM2 team is actually made a pretty cool Macross game on the PS2? It's actually pretty awesome and still fairly affordable. Is that, wait, Macross team. I don't know that I played an actual Macross game. I played Robotech Battle Cry, but I didn't play an actual Macross game. So I'm wondering if it's that or not. Oh, Ack-Guy? You can get the Ack-Guy in this. You can also unlock Akahana, who is the Ack-Guy pilot who has the little nose shield to support you. But they don't get any voiced lines or cut-ins, which is really unfortunate because that would have really made this game special. If you had actual voice lines from these characters, or they could actually appear on the screen, that would have been really cool. Or if you could actually have an avatar for your own character. Give yourself a face. Because that's what's really important about Mobile Suit Gundam and the kind of environment that it sets, is that these people are faces, they're humans, and they're humans who suffer in this war environment. And I think this does a good job of conveying a lot of the grunt type things, and it gives you a lot of cool homages and like specific stylistic elements that really feed into the expanded universe of the Universal Century. But it also doesn't go far enough. And I think that's what a lot of Gundam games really are, is that it's the C or D team on Bandai/Bandai Namco's development squad who just have to, okay, you're gonna put out a Gundam game, here's your training or whatever. And they do the best with what they have, and they come out with a decent game, which could be so much better with just a little more effort or a little more support. I have opinions. Sega's Macross game is leagues better than Robotech Battle Cry. It's an entirely different game. Okay, I gotcha. I will have to look it up then. Is it translated? Or is there a good translation guide that makes it easy to play? Because that's the real hang-up that I have about a lot of Japanese games, is that I don't have a good way to access them. That makes a lot of sense, that no one feels compelled to make a definitive Gundam game because Super Robot Wars makes all the effort. Yeah, that's true. That and G Generation, which is basically Super Gundam Wars. It's a tactical RPG which they explore all sorts of different things. And it's pretty much a very similar formula throughout the whole series. I will say another Gundam game that I was possibly going to play today, which is Mobile Suit Gundam: The 1 Year War for the PlayStation 2, which was Japanese exclusive, never came out here, is a very solid one. And it has both Earth and space missions. It covers the entirety of the first Mobile Suit Gundam series. It's really cool, and what's nice about it is that it gives you other mobile suits that you can play as Amuro. So you can actually play Amuro using the Gundam Alex, the NT1, which is in 0080, which was meant for him, and play through the last bit of the game with it. Which is pretty nice because that's what he was supposed to do, but it never made it to him because 0080 was made after the original series was created. Unfortunately, it is not translated, but most of the menus are in English. Okay. Very playable without any knowledge of Japanese. That's fine. That's kind of how 1 Year War is, but if you want to delve into the plot, then you really have to know it very well. And I do know it very well, but I wanted today to be a little more relaxing. Even though I am a little soapboxy on certain things.
With forces in the northern jungle neutralized, we've
We're going to do
established a
another
beachhead
official
for an
mission.
attack on the naval base. However, the enemy has noticed our movements and is gathering forces to the south. Our side has already dispatched reinforcements, but it will take some time before they arrive. In order to gain time until their arrival,
So no third impact. I mean, I guess I have a little bit of inclination because of your name, but what is your favorite mecha anime?
MS forces are in the vicinity. These MS pose a serious threat to our operation.
And if that's a bit difficult to answer, what's your favorite Gundam anime?
We've got to buy time until backup arrives.
Okay, one moment.
Destroy the bridges and stop the enemy advance.
It's just so kooky. Alright, we got him. Ooh, we got marine mobile suits now. It's like some Zagax, I think. Which sounds like you're just clearing your throat. And we got some Zaku cannons. Oh, right, we gotta blow up the bridges. You have to do the opposite of Death Stranding. Oof, got another one coming. You got another Zaku coming.
All bridges confirmed destroyed.
Sweet. Whoa!
We've picked up several amphibious MS. It looks like our intel was on the money.
Oh, Ack guy.
Hunt them down.
There we
Take
go.
them out.
There's your act guy, Shiro. Akahana is on the move. Oh, those things are fast, considering. I guess they've kind of always been pretty fast.
It can't be. Reading negative. Amphibious MS terminated.
For a PS3 game, these Gundam models look pretty damn good. Yeah, they definitely got the aesthetic of it pretty down, at least for the mech designs. And like I said, they have those real cool little touches of the variants. We got cooked a little bit. Ooh, nice. It's actually a tough question. Haven't actually watched too many different mecha anime in their entirety, but for now I guess I'll have to say either Gurren Lagann or Evangelion. Aside from that, I've seen some episodes of Gundam Unicorn, various clips and memes and reviews of other Gundam series, and a couple episodes of Macross. Okay. I mean, I could definitely take Gurren Lagann or Evangelion. Both of them, pretty incredible in their own rights. They are both celebrated for very good reasons. And I support you. An orange peanut for me. Wow. Will I accept you? Ooh, I'm in critical state. Which is just like real life. Anyways, let's customize the Gundam some more. Weapon, yes. We're gonna take a day off after this. I just want to see what the next mission's deadline is. The 27th. Okay, so plenty of time. Plenty of time. Alright, so we'll take a next turn. Now, if you were to ask me what my favorite mech game was, that'd be a bit... Oh wait, that's actually also difficult for me to answer since there's so many good ones. Steel Battalion is pretty up there because of the controller. Oh, so Steel Battalion is a game that I really wanted to play. It was one that I heard of back around when it first came out, but at the time I was more PlayStation 2, GameCube. I did not have an Xbox, and I did not have like $150 to buy the whole setup for Steel Battalion to go with an Xbox. But it's one that I would absolutely love to try one day if I was able to get the whole setup for it. Because that's the whole appeal of it, is being able to have all those, like the joysticks and the foot pedals and all the strange little doodads on the control panel, like the wipers and such to work with while you play it. Like, that's the whole point of it. I would love to have that whole cockpit set up and really get into Steel Battalion, but that's probably a pipe dream at this point, considering the market, and I'm sure it's incredibly expensive to get all that stuff. There was a sequel to Steel Battalion, but I think it's a Kinect game, and that does not seem nearly as fun. But anyways, we've got Operation Odessa happening right now. General Revel and his forces have begun their advance on Odessa, scheduled for October 20th. Operation Odessa will determine the outcome of this war, and its success will drastically change the balance in Europe. All units, put everything you've got into this mission. Well, I guess we have to deal with that. Do a quick save in the meantime. I'm going to give myself a stretch. Just because my back was not feeling good. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that, but holy moly. Ooh. Okay. This hand of mine glows with an awesome power. Oh, Hamlet Spotlight. Okay. Well, you've got it. Just get set real quick here. So, Hamlet, I hope you are ready.
Yes, indubitably. My name is Hamlet, and I will be playing Shar, playing Quattro Regina, reciting a speech from Dakar. I would like to start by asking the forgiveness of the Assembly members and all Federation citizens. We mean no disrespect by taking over this meeting. I am Lieutenant Quattro Regina of the Anti-Earth Union Group. This is one more thing I must disclose before I say what I came to say. I have another name. I am also the man who is known as Shar Aznable. I have come to you today as someone who carries within him the true aspirations of Xion. Do not think of me as Shah of the Principality of Xion, but rather as the son of Xion Daikun. Xion Daikun's legacy has nothing to do with the evils and hatred of the Zabi family. Xion Daikun did not build the Principality of Xion. When one sees how the Titans do as they please with the Earth Federation forces, it becomes apparent that they are more depraved than the Zabi family ever was. Humanity went to space so that the planet would not collapse under the weight of the people on it. Once there, they flourished, expanding their living space as they built more colonies on their own. Unfortunately, their success filled them with the hubris and dreams of glory, creating evils like the Zombie family. We mustn't repeat that mistake. Why won't people understand that moving into space will broaden their horizons? We believe that humanity should no longer pollute the Earth. But the Titans whose souls are pulled down by gravity think only of ravishing it. Why is it so hard for people to understand? From the dawn of history, mankind has played in this cradle called Earth. But now, humanity must leave the nursery behind. Our infancy has come to an end. Tell me, why at this turning point in our history must we fight amongst each other and further pollute the Earth? The Earth should be returned to its natural state, and all of humanity must make its home in outer space. Otherwise, Earth will no longer be the planet of water. Even this very city of Dakar is slowly being engulfed by the desert. This is how exhausted the Earth is. Right now, every one of us would like to see the Earth remain alive and beautiful. If we truly feel this way, then we should not cling to the Earth as parasites just to fulfill our selfish desires. The Titans have started a battle disregarding the lives of this assembly. See for yourselves the brutality of the actions they take. They place themselves above the regular Earth Federation forces and label anyone who opposes them evildoers. But their own arrogance is the greatest evil. They will be the ruin of humanity. Those of you who are watching the television must realize by now that this is how the Titans go about their business. I admit, I was wrong to take over this assembly. But what of the Titans who are trying to destroy it with the members still inside? Would they even destroy their supporters? Thank you.
And thank you for that spirited performance, Hamlet. The words of Shar Aznable, who was masquerading as Quattro Bagina, the most unfortunate of aliases. Just takes my breath away. And now we'll actually save our game. Yes, please, give Hamlet all your support with Bueno, or your chippiest Quattro Vegeta, yes, exactly. Or your chippiest emotes if you have them. Yes, cancel. We don't need to save again. There you go. Thank you, Julie Andrews. I appreciate your buenos the most when a performance is presented to the audience, as you are a world-renowned actress. Okay, everyone is good. No one wants 4 Vegetas. No one. That is way too much pride to handle.
I'm the Prince of all Saiyans. No, I'm the Prince of all Saiyans. Excuse me, but I'm the Prince of all Saiyans. Enough! I am the Prince of all Saiyans.
Then, come 5 years later, I found the cheapest listing for the controller I could find on eBay. $330! And I asked for it for my parents as an early Christmas present. It came with 3 parts, big ass box, some official old Xbox magazine issues and demo discs, and an unexpected bonus. Ooh. Thank you. Okay. Let's do our next official mission. But that's awesome, No Third Impact. I hope you enjoyed actually playing it. Because I know it's a very difficult one to really embrace and to play to its fullest. Because the controls are probably about as complicated as being in a mech could possibly be. At one point there was 3 Vegetas: Prince Vegeta, King Vegeta, and Planet Vegeta. That is true. I think if I remember right, Quattro's name was unfortunately mistranslated as Quattro Vagina in one of the Japan only PS1 games. Yeah, I mean, even just in English, it's still not a great translation to deal with. Also, that reading was excellent. Well, I shall make sure that Hamlet knows that. That's still too many. All right, let's do it. Oh, okay, here we go. Gotta protect the gun tanks.
All-out attack on base on the other shore. Commence operation.
And blow up the base. Because you know I'm all about that base. Fruit salad. Okay, we're gonna go for the ones. Okay. On the right here.
Communication from the commander.
The success of this mission is riding
Whoop,
on you.
okay.
We're counting on the same team that took the northern base to lead us to victory.
Ooh, it's a Gog. So the Gogs are pretty beefy. This looks like a Zaku, so... Oh, that must be a goof. Port to the goof troop. Oh god. Okay. So Gogs have super heavy armor, and they have mega particle cannons, which are basically beam weapons of a different name. I would say they seem more powerful than a typical beam rifle, but they're just of a slightly different variety. Yeah, the controls are super tough at first, but then once you get used to it, you are a mech pilot for all intents and purposes. Yeah, so that's what excites me about that game, and what made it so appealing in the first place, was just getting the chance to have that feeling. Virtual On in the arcades also kind of had that, but it was just 2 joysticks and the buttons on the joysticks.
You can't stop me.
Cool. When I first got it, I actually had my friend come over and play it a few days later while we were playing. I thought it'd be a fun idea for us to pretend to be Zap Brannigan and Kif from Futurama. Okay, that's pretty fun. What's going on here? Okay. Oh.
Get away! The enemy is closing in on the northern base. All units in the vicinity, intercept them.
We got this.
Take that, bastard!
Can't tell what these mobile suits are, but we got them. Sweet. Alright, who else is closing in? Oh, I see. Probably gonna lose that other base, but that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, that's definitely a goof. So the goof is Xeon's primary close combat mobile suit. It's one of my favorites of theirs, but it does have a lot of weaknesses. Mostly that its main weapon is really freaking stupid. Ooh, and I ran out of ammo for my beam gun. So this is probably the most damage I've taken so far. So I'm gonna have to go into melee attacks for the rest of the level. Actually, no, I don't have to do that because I can just boost my way over here. Just keep boosting. And then refill
Supply unit. Supply request confirmed.
my
Commencing
ammo.
reload.
When he was piloting, I was doing my part as Zap by mostly goofing off and belittling him for being an incompetent pilot while talking myself up.
Replenished.
As you should. That's the whole point of being Zap Brannigan. You gotta have that bravado. Otherwise, what's the point? Ooh, it's a Gog. Ooh, 2 goofs. Don't want to goof this up. Also, thankfully, even though they hit our left arm, Our shield didn't get destroyed, so that makes it a little bit easier for us. In case there's still a bunch of enemies around. There's one enemy left. Nope, never mind. We're good. Goofs are goofy. They haven't figured out how dangerous they'd be by just carrying a machine gun and throwing it away last second. Yeah, so the goof has a left hand which has to line up perfectly to shoot bullets out of. It's really stupid. Instead of just having a gun in its normal wielding arm that it can toss away or stow away before drawing its heat sword. This is no Zaku, boy! No Zaku! It is definitely not a Zaku. The Zaku is actually more versatile. Zeon movement in Indonesia. Zeon forces have abandoned their base in Indonesia. When combined with other reconnaissance, this indicates a shift in Zeon forces to the Indo-Chinese peninsula. We are now investigating the viability of reducing forces in Indonesia in order to counter this buildup in Indochina. Okay. 8th team style. Yes, indeed. Participation in naval base assault. Zeon's chain of command in Southeast Asia has been temporarily disrupted by the arrival of forces from Indonesia. We will use this opportunity to conduct an assault on the enemy's naval base. The MS Test Corps will be transferred to the Indochina Peninsula as soon as it's ready. So that's us. Naval base is ready. We gotta do a diversion attack. Sweet. By sweet, I mean it's probably gonna be frustrating because I feel like every mission that I've had at the naval base has been extremely frustrating as well. Oh boy. Okay, let's customize Gundam a little bit more. We're going to take a next turn so that our brain recovers a little bit. And we're going to save. Okay, so our main weapon ammo and sub-weapon ammo have increased. Do another upgrade here. And let's see what the time limit is. Okay, 30th. Use it? Okay, I will use the Gundam. Okay, once the weapon has been fully upgraded, I will use the Gundam, which won't take very long. I promise you. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'll use the Gundam on the next mission. I cannot have this session end without using the Gundam. That's the promise.
A small diversionary unit will draw the enemy away from their defensive line. Wipe out as many of them as you can.
Oh, it's just me? Great. All right.
Commencing diversionary operation. To the last man? Are we a bunch of pawns? There's no way I'm dying. I'll make it through. Hold out for the operation time. Come back alive.
The game is very true to this series. The Gundam in this game is nigh unstoppable.
I'm taking you all
We
down
shall
with
display
me.
that.
So this is it, huh? Time to tear things up then. Hi, Mr. Oh! Get away! Ah! Time to meet your maker.
Something about that reminded me of Star Fox. time to show the monkey who's boss.
Attack! Get away! Get away! Take...
Trouble about this stage is that you've got... Okay, I need you to fucking die. You have mobile suits coming from the ocean, and you don't want to get into the ocean unless you are using a marine mobile suit. Federation doesn't actually have any. Which especially makes the... Can you... Stop leaping around like a dingus. Which makes it especially difficult in these stages. So what you want to do is draw the enemy onto land. As best as you can by holding off on moving towards the edge of the map. Because if you wind up in the water, it's going to be bad times. That's usually where you'll die in these kinds of stages. By the way, some parts of the old official Xbox magazines I got were pretty hilarious in hindsight. For instance, one of them had a tagline saying something akin to, "Move over, Final Fantasy. Peter Molyneux's new RPG is about to change all the rules." There have been so many Final Fantasy killers throughout the years that that's just another one to chalk up on the board. Another one said something like, "Meet the new Halo, brute force." Spoiler alert, it did not. No, it did not. Fable was a fine game on its own, but it also had a lot of failings too. Also, they're completely different kinds of RPGs, so it's hard to actually compare them. Capture naval base. Ooh, and a level up too. Fable was a black and white morality simulator. Yes. Worst frame rate. That is also true. I'm gonna check out. Okay, so I do still have plenty of time left, so I am going to wait until I'm able to get the weapon fully upgraded. Operation Odessa delayed. In order to complete preparations, the operation has been postponed past the initial date of October 20th. Our headquarters has decided to increase the concentration of forces in Europe. This might put a strain on other fronts, but remember, it is for Federation victory. Fable was a challenging play for me because of performance. Fable 2 also gets a nomination for a game with the worst supporting character of all time. The remaster runs pretty good, but it was painfully dull to me overall. So, Culprit, what was this character? Oh hey, we got the goof. Yep, we unlocked the goof. Because I don't remember. I know that there was a dog, I believe was your friend. The thief guy. The one who kills steals. Okay. I definitely don't remember it that well, so. Actually, since we don't have enough to upgrade it, I may as well use it. Been a long time, so hard to summarize. Fair enough. Ooh. Ooh! Right on point. Okay, we're gonna do this one. One of the magazines also has a section mentioning the infamous StarCraft Ghost. Oof, that game that never came out. He was one of the chosen three, and when you're confronting the bad guy and you're talking to them and it's your turn to make a choice, he intervenes and chooses for you, robbing you of your agency. Oh, so it's Fallout 3. Gotcha.
We've received reports of enemy mobile suits hiding in the city ruins to the west. It appears they plan to gather their forces here for an assault on our base. We've already confirmed approaching reinforcements. If we don't move quickly, we'll have to engage multiple enemies at once. We won't have a chance if they let their forces converge.
He also shoots a guy behind closed doors and is a life vampire for immortality. Oh boy. Yeah, we use the beam rifle. Beam gun, sniper rifle. We're good. Maybe we were supposed to think he was cool? Maybe. But we are the Gundam. Here we go. Bum,
Zeon forces have occupied the ruined
bum,
city ahead.
bum, bum, bum,
Incoming reinforcements have also been
bum,
confirmed.
bum, bum,
Head
brrrr,
out immediately.
brrrr. Okay, yeah. This is
Bastard! Stay away!
this is like, these enemies are nothing right now compared to the Gundam. Who else is coming? Anybody else joining the party? I'll take you downtown. Oh, we got one over here. Where you at?
Zeon strength has increased.
Oh boy. It's not just the power of Gundam, that's the power of Pine Sol. We're gonna move back a little bit further though. Oh, no, we got enemies over here too. Take these guys down.
Federation garbage! I'll crush you! Even if I die, my comrades will exact revenge!
And you are gonna be dead. There we go. Got that waxy shine and fresh pine smell in your mecha. this it?
Elimination
I guess
of
it
enemy
is.
force confirmed.
Okay.
The mission was a success. Return to
Okay, it's
base.
not quite a visor, as I thought it was, but it does have the heavy Gundam aesthetic to it. That should be enough for another upgrade, I think. Oh no. It's undergoing repairs, so I can't do anything with it. Either way. Matt Austin. I don't know who that is. Ooh, just enough. Also, there's a couple of neat mechanics I'd like to mention from Steel Battalion. One, if you don't press the eject button in time after your mech takes too much damage, your character will die and your save gets deleted. So you need to start the campaign over. Ooh. That's a pretty cool use of permadeath. I would assume that it's very frustrating in the moment, but it makes a lot of sense, and that's actually that is a pretty nifty feature. Two, it's also possible to mess up missions so much that you run out of money to acquire any more mechs to use. If that happens, you will be fired, which also causes your save to be deleted. Oh boy, that's a lot of pressure. Let's see if there's anything else that's available. Nope. Alright, let's capture this naval base.
The first strike on the naval base was a great success, crippling the enemy's defenses. We will now commence stage 2. Our objective this time is to capture the enemy base, neutralize the enemy defense, and take the base. A reconnaissance patrol has also reported movement of enemy reinforcements. There's a high probability that enemy reinforcements will strike during the operation. Stay on guard.
Sounds like the perfect Battletech game. Yeah, that does sound a lot like Battletech. We're gonna switch with the Gym Sniper 2 and have them support us for this. Yes. Also, one more thing. One of the harder difficulties you can unlock has a name which I find rather humorous. It's called Magnum Force. Yeah. Just like we're gun. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. I think I picked the right support for this, though. Given
Watch out for fierce resistance around the base.
how far away some of these are. So despite the fact that this game has more generic music than what the series would normally have, it also has kind of the very despair-inducing notes of the Ideon soundtrack, which, if you're not familiar with Ideon, was one of the series that Yoshiyuki Tomino, who created Mobile Suit Gundam, released after that. And he was also incredibly depressed.
Energy dropping.
Ouch. This thing here is a Dom. It's very fast, and it believes in family.
Defend this point to the death. Intercept now.
But that is a show that borders on cosmic horror. Oh shit. Oh, this is bad. Run.
Why?
Hack guy.
What the hell?
I knew the naval base was going to be where I first hit a roadblock.
Damn it. Take that.
Don't know how much ammo I have left. Okay,
Wait. Stop the Federation.
might be able to
Hold them back.
take him down.
Attack.
Alright. Move! Actually, you know what? No, we don't need to move. We can take him down. Take him down, take him downtown. I knew I recognized that. It's a Dirty Harry movie. Magnum Force is the difficulty you only play if you have a Magnum Dong. Like Danny. Oh gosh. Get you. Oh boy. Good evening, Space Robot Arm. Welcome. Hit enter by accident, but that works. Alright, gonna head out. I look forward to more Gundamy goodness, and I hope you all fox on a do. Have a good evening. Well, thank you, Tyrannosaurus Greg. One more time. If you enjoy dinosaurs and fezzes and classic games, especially Castlevania Symphony of the Night randomizers, check out Tyrannosaurus Greg. And since they've just joined us, please check out Space Robot Arm as well. You're still working through Final Fantasy II for the PlayStation, correct? I believe he'll be finishing that up pretty soon if he hasn't already, but otherwise he'll be moving on to Legend of Zelda Minish Cap for the Game Boy Advance, which is an incredible game. So please, if you like that feeling of hanging out on a couch with one of your best buds and enjoying a classic game, check out Space Robot Arm, give him a look, and a follow as well. Yep, still Final Fantasy II. Gotcha. By the way, Bone Chalk, there's actually a Steel Battalion Discord server for folks who play the online-only sequel, Steel Battalion Line of Contact. May be able to help you find a listing for the controller. Ooh, that's good to know. Also gonna head out. Have a great night, all. Well, good evening, Dedoku. Do you know who else had to head out? But yes, good night, Dedoku. Thank you for stopping in. Really appreciate your time. And we shall continue this terrible mission. Oh gosh.
Don't let them through. Return fire.
Come on.
Attack.
There was a steel battalion controller for sale at Retro World Expo. They were asking a pretty penny for it, though. I can imagine. How much was it, if you recall? I think this is the last one. I hope so. Maybe yes, maybe no. Hard to say. Yep, no, we got it. Nice.
This is it for the enemy.
Asking price is 450.
Your bravery.
Don't like it. That hurts. Hurts my insides. A? Yeah. Figured. Naval base captured. Our forces have succeeded in taking the naval base. However, this success was not only afforded by temporary disruption in the enemy chain of command. As soon as they reorganize, they will surely try to retake the base. Don't let up and secure the area. Ooh, mighty river. Okay. For that much, learn to build your own? If only. Okay, we're gonna do a next turn. Special weapon available. Okay, let's save this game. And we're gonna do a mission with Gundam. So Space Robot Arm, from what I last remember, you started watching the original Mobile Suit Gundam, correct? That must have been complete in the box, though. Price charting has it listed as 283 use. Oh. Still quite a bit, but that, at the very least, feels a lot more reasonable, because I think the original price for the whole thing was close to $200. Gonna go down to the river. Only watched 2 episodes so far, though. Okay, gotcha. If you did enjoy it, I do strongly suggest keeping with it, or at the very least watching the 3 compilation movies. That really distills it down to its purest form. It is really good, though. Didn't expect it to hit so heavy. Yeah, I mean, it was a huge shift in robot anime in terms of tone and the kinds of subjects that it covered. I don't want to say that that series before didn't tackle heavy things or didn't tackle the loss of life or whatever, because there's a lot of screwed up stuff in other robot anime of the 70s, but this one really focused on the human cost of war. And that's what set it apart, and it's what started the huge shift in the genre to focusing on the horrors of war and how it affects people personally and such. But we're going to launch with the Gundam now, which is basically a superhero unit that's going to tear through this level.
Destroy as many of them as you can. There's no time to lose. Suit up immediately.
So we have to take down that Ga attack carrier, but
Watch the skies.
we can take out the rest of these guys because they're scrubs. What the hell's the button? Okay.
I've been beat.
I thought I was able to take it out, but apparently not. It's gotta blow up its butt, I guess. Good evening. I like the gun-damned pun. Well, good evening, side quest Jess, and welcome into the Bone Chalk broadcast. My name is Amuro Prey, and I am your Bone Chalk bard for the evening. We are playing some Gundam Crossfire right now, and I do know that side quest Jess plays plenty of games. Plenty of classic games that we would also really enjoy, so please check her out. Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. I know that you specifically, Shiro Omata, really enjoy that. So, check her out. Check out what she does. I'm going to retry this mission because I seem to have screwed it up.
Forces that withdrew from the naval base are trying to escape north through the canyon.
In the meantime,
Destroy as many
it's really
of them
good
as
though.
you
I didn't
can.
expect it to hit so heavy.
There's
Yes,
no time
definitely
to
watched
lose.
Gundam Wing
Suit
when it
up
was on
immediately.
Toonami back in the day. But you never went much deeper than that. Story of what they had to go through even to get the original show made is pretty interesting. The director Tomino was basically deflecting for the production staff constantly just so that they can make the story as real as they did. Everything till then had been so cartoonish, it's what they expected. Yeah, so he was deflecting for them. Yeah, they kept demanding like more model sales or model conducive designs for the show, and he would have them get killed off, but then focus on a lot of other things that were much more poignant at the time. Because like even the kind of meme where the episode of where White Base needs salt was actually pretty potent with the way that it was handled.
Watch the skies.
Yes, sir, SMT series is great. And I do remember watching you play that one specifically. Holy cow, they're so much more accurate in this run. Are you playing 5? Yes, that I'm actually curious too. Are you playing Shin Megami Tensei 5, Shiro? Negative, it's on your to buy list. Ah, gotcha. I hope you do get a chance to play it pretty soon, though.
I've been beaten. It can't be.
Alright, I'm gonna retry this one more time. Want to finish 3, then you'll get to 5. Gotcha. Jesus. Of all of them, I know that 3 is incredibly difficult. Are you playing it on Switch or are you playing it on PS2? I know the Switch gives you some more, I guess you could say, quality of life improvements?
Damn, Federation dog.
Whoa! Got the beam javelin, that's cool. On Steam, okay. Alright, I'm gonna guess that that means that I got it. I'm not worried about it anymore. Shabo's my friend has it, says it's good so far. Amazon had a buy two get one free sale and Shin Megami Tensei 5 and a bunch of other good games are a part of it. Ooh. Poke him with the beam Q-tip. I wish I could. I think I honestly missed something in the mission briefing, which hasn't been a problem up until now. I know we have the time limit here, but...
Support MS energy dropping.
Ooh. New mobile suits dropping in. Okay. Also, Tomino has a habit of bringing his real-life problems into his series, a la Zeta Gundam. Yes, he did have a... ooh, okay, well, I guess we're done. He did have a problem with
The mission was a success.
portraying
Return to base.
the women in his life in a very negative way. Pretty much because he was going through a divorce, and so he was like, oh, I hate all women. And that was not very fun. Yes, we did hear about Dragon Ball The Breakers. So, asymmetrical Dragon Ball warfare, which will be very interesting. But yeah, that's probably one of the biggest downsides of Tomino and his work is his treatment of women in his earlier works, because he was working through his own problems. He had a lot of romantic troubles, and he brought that out in his work in a not very good way. So despite the fact that in many ways he really advanced the medium, he was also very regressive in that kind of way too. And I mean, that's something that we just have to acknowledge and not glance over, because yeah, he could create a really great work, but he still did not handle things in the greatest way possible. Victory Gundam. Victory Gundam is, yeah, that one especially, towards the end. Kadajina, who starts off on the protagonist's side, becomes an incredibly manipulative and devious person. And towards the end, the main character, Uso, is tormented by a squad of female soldiers who attack him on foot, but in space, in very skimpy space outfits, and threaten to essentially explode the mobile suit that he's in, and he has to, or he ends up killing them all while they're on foot as well. And it's pretty graphic and not very cool. It's a very traumatic kind of sequence, and I don't really like it, and I think that's one of the big drawbacks of that show, which does have, again, a lot of really good, poignant parts to it. But there's also a lot of other really shady female portrayals as well. All screwed up. So yeah, Los, Victory Gundam is a very good series, and you should definitely watch it if you're a fan of mecha anime, and especially of very human kind of stories. But you do have to acknowledge the very poor treatment of female characters in it, and some of them are actually handled pretty well, but overall he was going through some shit and he decided to put that into his work, and it's a very unfair treatment of a lot of female characters. Alright, we should be able to do another mission or two of this game before we start to wrap up, and then we will find someone to raid together. Nope, that's not what I wanted. We'll do attack next. There we go. But yes, so tonight is our diversion from Foxanadu, or Fazanadu, if you want to pronounce it correctly. We are celebrating our 100 followers and just playing something as a preview to our Gundam season, which will begin after the new year. So we'll be playing a selection of Gundam games, one after another, and just having a Gundam celebration. Because despite the fact those things that I mentioned, Gundam does have a place in my heart as a significant piece of media that I consumed in my teenage years and really opened my eyes to a new genre of things. So I do want to celebrate that aspect of it, but we're not going to shy away from talking about the things that really don't work in it. Okay. Just want to make sure I don't skip something that we can't go back to. Alright, mountain time. Rocky Mountain High. But for the Gundam season, we'll have a switched up aesthetic, we'll have some new redemptions, and we'll go full on Gundam Force. SD Gundam Force. Alright, this seems pretty simple. Help all your buddies not die. Which I think I can do. I think so.
Allied forces are caught in a fierce battle. Back them up immediately.
Help a buddy out? I want to not die. Exactly. Ooh, okay. Sweet. I love when my allies actually just beat the crap out of somebody.
Gun tanks are of no use. Take them out for us.
Mostly because they're an AI, and usually that means that they're terrible. But when they actually spring into action and help us out,
Energy readings in
it's
the
just a
mountains.
proud thing. It's like, oh, you
Reinforcements.
guys, thank you so much. But I feel like it only really happens at the beginning of the stage, which is pretty annoying. Alright, I want them to jump down a little bit. Done goofed up. Oop. I need to get just a little bit closer. Also, one of the really tricky things about this game is that if you look at the radar in the upper right, even though the mission is over, there's that yellow box. You cannot go beyond those bounds. If you try to go beyond that, it's an invisible wall. You can't move past it. Even though the enemies are coming from there, you just can't go through. So, if the enemy is beyond there and you're not within range, they can shoot you, but you can't do anything to them unless you go into sniper mode and try to get them that way. But that makes it very difficult. It's especially rough in those naval stages that I was talking about. Ooh. Oh, hey, we can order a GOG. Lou Rower? Sweet. Seems legit. Charlotte Hepner? Whoa, those are Xeon pilots. Oh, okay. So, those are two pilots who are from the game Mobile Suit Gundam Zeonic Front. That's on the PlayStation 2. Charlotte Hepner does sound like an actress name. They don't necessarily defect to the Federation, but they are both ambassadors of the new Republic of Xeon that gets established after the 1-year war. So they work closely with the Federation afterwards. But that's pretty cool that you can unlock them on the Federation side. I didn't realize that. Let's see what their stats are like. Not great. Cool. But given the time that it is, we're going to do a save here. I'm not going to touch this file unless I get incredibly bored and decide I just need some more Federation Gundam action. But we're going to put this aside for now. And conclude our Gundam celebration, our 100 follower celebration. Thank you all so much for joining. It means a lot that you've enjoyed what we've been doing here at the Bone Chalk Broadcast. It's been a lot of fun and something that has really filled an empty spot in my life, to be perfectly honest. I decided to do this just because I wanted to connect with people and share my love for certain things that I enjoyed as I was growing up and re-explore them and see if they were still enjoyable now. And the fact that all of you show up each week and enjoy this with me, it's incredibly humbling, and it makes me so proud that we've created something that people can enjoy and that people like to come and see. And whether you stop by once or every week, it doesn't matter to me. I just really feel honored that you spend time with me and that I get to spend time with you, and I get to learn so many things from you as well. Whatever I put out, I'm getting so much back in, especially tonight, just learning about Robot Alchemic Drive and Steel Battalion and the way that people have come into enjoying Gundam. It really makes me happy getting to experience your experience as well, and to share from my soul and the things that I really like. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for helping us get to 100 followers. And I'm really looking forward to our next steps and to growing this channel even more, trying out new and fun things, and just having a great time with you all, because it really makes me happy getting to spend this time with you each week. And I know it's not a lot of time, but it's a time that works for me, and I hope it's a time that works for you all. I don't want to push it too hard. You know, sometimes I do push the boundaries a little bit when we, are at the end of a game, or I get a little too excited sometimes. But yeah, we're gonna see if anybody else is on and working right now, so we can spread the love too, because that's another thing that I really enjoy, is exposing you to other people that I like and have a good time experiencing. So okay, all right, so we do have somebody. I am going to send you to someone who inspires me. They are a streamer who really knows their craft. They are an artist, they're an improv artist, and they really have honed down the art of how they want to present themselves and have created a very nurturing and beautiful environment that encourages people to grow and is really supportive. So we are going to raid the one, the only Super Ninbao, and hopefully this works this time. Hopefully it doesn't break down before we actually raid. Because last time we had a bit of a meltdown, so we shall see what happens here. But thank you all once again for joining me. I really appreciate you all. My name is Michael Prey. I have been your Bone Chalk Bard. This has been the Bone Chalk Broadcast. I hope to see you on Thursday for the finale of Fox Xanadu, and when we move on to something else. Thank you so much. The rest is silence.